All right, greetings as you come on, guys. Greetings. Just waiting for the final destination to load. Sometimes when you're streaming to multiple platforms, there can be a bit of a delay. And this platform has been problematic with me lately, but I'm going to find out if it's going to behave today. So bear with me, guys. Let me just check the destination here real quick. Yeah, why is it looking like it's being? Yeah, it's being problematic. Well, we'll see if it actually wakes up. If not, maybe I'll just put it in there afterwards. All right, blessings, everybody. Listen, I wanted to talk to you guys real quick about this. First of all, I want to let everybody know I had another prophetic dream last night. I shared it inside my private community. This is about another, potential opportunity to get involved in. I shared it once again, like I said, in my private community. I had somebody in a live stream that I did yesterday inside my private community said you made the right decision by getting rid of the monthly membership because it gets rid of the trolls, the people who are not serious. And so I agreed. That's actually why I modified. So if you are an existing member, you actually got grandfathered in because you got in early. And so you're actually able to continue on that monthly opportunity. But for those who are coming in new, you basically have to secure the year. That being said, it's reasonable for most people. But that being said, guys, I want to move in quickly to something that is very strange. We have seen and we know that there are, hands in the cookie jar, as they say. And what I mean by that is there are, the big players that are potentially manipulating the markets. And I just have a lot of concerns about even what is occurring today. Bitcoin has come up, 3.3% or on the 24-hour time period. And that's well and good, but it doesn't make any sense at all. In fact, it's alarming. The reason I say that is because we have seen, as everything has been good, the economic, statistics that they release that affects trading and markets and everything, they've been very, very good lately. And it just seems like crypto particularly has been kind of having a lid on it. And what's interesting is that Polymarket, and I posted this inside my private community today, Polymarket has a 74% chance that the Supreme Court will rule against the legality of these tariffs. And I mean, that's a high probability. Now, I did have someone said inside the community, hey, I would like to know what their track record is, just out of curiosity. I said, that's a great point. And, this is what I was honestly thinking, and that's why I'm bringing this to the table. So I don't like how YouTube has the usernames displayed anymore, but it is what it is. So God bless you. I wish your display name was up. But I looked it up and I Googled and I said, what is the, accuracy of Polymarket's predictions? And Google responded and said Polymarket's predictions are actually highly accurate, reaching up to 94 to 95% accuracy for events shortly before they happen, according to analyses of its historical data, though it slightly overestimates probabilities due to factors like herd mentality and market biases, with accuracy improving closer to event resolution, as shown in data from March 2025 and its own accuracy page. So, neither here nor there. I don't really know. I didn't do any third-party testing, right? Obviously. And so my point is, if this is true, I don't know Polymarket's prediction accuracy, but normally the markets will respond to certain events before they even happen. Like the markets, they tend to prepare. So this news event that is coming out tomorrow, where the Supreme Court is supposed to make an announcement on what they've decided concerning the Trump tariffs, as you will, is very concerning that the market is going up when Polymarket has a 94 to 95% accuracy rate, so they say. And they're making, according to their poll right now, a 74% probability that these tariffs will be ruled against. Even Trump said this would cripple our economy. He also said that we would never be able to pay this back. That's not good. And I get what he's saying, because we've taken in so much from these tariffs. Here's what I want to say. Number one, we got to pray. That's by and large, no doubt about it. Prophet Charlie Shamp released last year, maybe, or the year before even. He said the office of the president of the United States will not be the greatest battle for our country. He says the greatest battle for our country lies in the Supreme Court. So this is where, number one, we need prayer, but also what is on the table right now. Somebody in my community said, well, doesn't the Supreme Court normally bump things out a few days after they? Well, that's exactly what they did. They were supposed to begin hearing on the matter of the tariffs last week, and they said they would make an announcement on Wednesday. So that's what tomorrow morning is expected to produce, is this announcement. We don't know what time of day, but if they've already prepared their decision and they actually announce their decision, it could indeed be, I don't know, maybe they've even announced what time tomorrow is the Supreme Court supposed to announce their decision on the tariffs.
The Supreme Court usually announces decisions at 10 a.m. Washington time on
10
what are
a.m.
called opinion days, which are usually Wednesdays. Since they don't say which cases will be decided beforehand, you'll need to check for the tariff ruling announcement on Wednesdays at that time.
Usually Wednesdays is what it says. Interesting. At 10 a.m. Usually Wednesdays at 10 a.m. All right. Could happen, which is very interesting. If you remember, one of the things that we are stewarding. So that being said, guys, I'm not here to, provoke anybody to pull out of the market. I don't want you to make any decisions based upon anything that I say. None of this is financial advice, guys. I'm just sharing with you some things that, in conjunction with what we're doing now privately, I am sharing some things publicly. One of those is just things to consider. We are stewarding a prophetic word of another downward momentum. When I say we, I'm talking about me and whoever else is decided to run with me concerning that. I have a gentleman, as I told many of you guys, the Lord showed me the exchange that he was in my dream, and the actual dollar amount of his account. Like some people would say God would never do that. Well, fine. You keep that opinion. I'll keep the supernatural, right? Like he is doing it. He did do it. And in my dream, this gentleman had reached out to me asking me for help to help him with his stuff. And I just sent the message to him, told him about the dream, told him how much he has in his account, told him what exchange it was in my dream. He was like, and he basically said, that's crazy. He's like, let me look at my account and he got back with me and he's like, yo, he's like, your dream was spot on. He's like, what do I do? And I was like, well, you don't do anything because this is not financial advice. You know, this is a guy who hears voices, right? As I described in my disclaimer. And so like, I'm just sharing with you what I feel I heard by the Spirit of the Lord. And it's up to you to, as I mentioned in the disclaimer, to pray about anything that you are, that you think you hear or that whatever. And so, it was really cool, man, because I did not know he held any crypto. I mean, we didn't really even talk. We've actually talked more after that dream than we ever did before the dream. And it was just one of those things where I was just like, I firmly believe that God wants to bless him. And I told him, I said, I think you found favor in God's sight because the fact that you are the only one, he could have given me a dream about anybody if he's wanting them to get in on this maneuver. And he gave me a dream about you. And, you don't have to agree with anything that's the disclaimer, right? This is all a faith journey for anybody who's walking by faith. It was ludicrous for me to do everything that I did last year when God told me to put it in XRP, and we even leveraged debt to do it. And so my point is, all this stuff is ludicrous. People who are market analysts and all these, many of them are probably in agreement with some of the stuff I'm saying right now, even without like understanding God, right? And so anyhow, I just wanted to get on here because I'm not telling you, listen, let's be clear. I'm not telling you that tomorrow the markets are going to crash. I am not telling you this at all. And but what I am saying is it's very concerning that it's been evident the markets have been like they've had a lid on them for some time. And have even been manipulated in a downward trajectory at times, as you know, and we believe another one's coming prophetically. However, literally just less than 24 hours before they're supposed to release the Supreme Court news, like we saw the market go way down for way less. And the fact that it's going up right now in less than 24 hours, like I said, markets normally will respond to a news event sometimes even before the event occurs in preparation, because people are the ones who invest in those markets. And if they feel like the whole world is going to collapse financially, which is, wow, that's kind of, the scope of things. If this was to be ruled against, it's going to be crazy. And I want to point out this comment. I like what let me see. There was a comment on here. I thought there was a comment on here. I guess I missed it or they deleted it or oh, no, this is it. It was the last statement that this gentleman said. I don't even know if it's a guy. At JMB Barrett. All right. The Trump tariffs should get passed, or else we will see a severe economic depression worse than the 1929 Great Depression. We need to pray hard. Well, here's the interesting thing, guys. It was prophesied that we would see economic depression greater than the 1929 depression. That's what several have prophesied. We need to pray hard. We've been praying hard, but we can't pray at the day of. We have to be listening to what the prophets are saying. Now, this is what I want to point out. He says there's no plan B for this. However, Trump did say he has a plan B. Now, here is what I want to say about that. if this goes south, that's what I was talking about, right? Brandon is one of those. He saw, he has prophesied about this Great Depression that would be coming. Remember what God spoke to me not too many months ago, guys. 7 months ago now, 8 months ago now. That was when I got the word where everything is about to change. Guys, everything has been changing. We just freaking went in a country and took out its president and airlifted him to our country against his country's, military. Like, I said this on my last live. I'm like, are we that dazed and confused where we don't even realize what's happening before our eyes? This is some high level stuff. And so, right, Venezuela, you've got the Israel and Iran conflict. You have, Russia. Hello. It was their flags on, at least 2 of those oil tankers, I think. So many things. Debate over Greenland right now. Is that right? Yeah, Greenland. There's just so many things going on at once. It's like everybody who has any sort of brains at all are definitely, they're like picking up what God's been dropping. That is the phrase that went around when I was younger. Are you picking up what I'm dropping? Finally, I believe people are picking up what God's been dropping. We have had prophecies about civil war. Hello. Apostle Giles just released his Monday broadcast, and he's in Minnesota. And he said that what is happening in Minnesota is actually birthing something in the realm of the spirit that is not good. It would be the start of something. And no, it's listen, it's both. All right. You picking up what I'm dropping? You picking up what I'm laying down? I've heard it both ways, but over here in my neck of the woods, it was, are you picking up what I'm dropping? So this is splitting hairs right now. Let's go ahead and move past that. However, yeah, China, Taiwan, correct. Like that's another big one. So man, this stuff there's so much going on right now. And I just want to send out this. There's certain things that I just must share publicly that I'm not sharing in my private community. Michael, appreciate you. Good to see you. He says it's been a while. Not really, because that's what I'm talking about, guys. Inside my private community, it has not been a while. We are active. We are interactive. We communicate back and forth regularly. And something is said every single day, not always by me, but definitely at least by the community. That being said, yeah, that's a good way to put it. But wow. Kim Clement prophesied it too, said that Trump would throttle the enemies of Israel in the West, Russia and China, and what's that? UK? I don't know what the last one is. Oh, well, that's probably why you haven't, Michael. North Korea. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. I was just like, all right. So anyhow, little Kim. Yep. So anyhow, guys, like I said, I needed to get this out here today. Just because I feel like people should really know. And I'm not like, listen, nothing could happen tomorrow, guys. Please understand what I'm saying. It could be a complete nothing burger tomorrow morning. Wow. There was a dream that a gentleman inside my private community had that I shared. He didn't really want me to share it because he didn't really believe in it. But there was some elements that I shared when I shared it. And I said, this is why I'm sharing it with you guys, because, according to certain spiritual laws, it has this thing going for it, that thing going for it, and I described what those were. And, but what's interesting is that it was so spot on so far. And doesn't mean something has to happen tomorrow, that tomorrow was not even in it. But if you understand the details of what of it, you would know. The other thing, we also had a mass deliverance inside my private community. We had an incredible testimony. A gentleman got delivered from binge drinking. Literally private messaged me, didn't even realize the connection. He said, whatever he calls me, Brother John, Pastor John, whatever. He said, I just wanted to let you know what God has done for me. And I said, were you on our deliverance call that we had? And he says, yeah. And he said, I prayed the prayer that you were praying for over everybody, like with a sincere heart. And I said, well, has it been about that long since you stopped drinking and that you as you described and testified, the desire was taken from you? He was like, about exactly that long. And he was like, wow, I didn't even put it together. But it was so powerful, man. Such a powerful testimony. And so, yes. That's right. That's right. You were here, Katie, and I shared that testimony as he had given it, I think just earlier that day or the day before. So praise the Lord. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to jump off. I don't have much more to say. I'm just letting you know that, if tomorrow's a big nothing burger, then it is what it is. But I will just tell you, this is really, really strange to me that these markets are pumping right now. And the fact that poly market, how many guys, speaking of which, how many of you guys, are like, what are your thoughts about poly market? What are your thoughts about poly market? I've seen a lot of people use it over the years, but I've never really made any sort of determination as to, I was surprised to see that Google said that it had a 94 to 95% success in hey guys, beware of the scammers in the comment section. I've already got a notification right now that somebody's trying to comment on this video or on another video and trying to target you with some bogus coin that doesn't even, probably exist. Or if you invest in it, they're just going to rob you of your, all your money that you put in. Because just be careful, guys, of commenters in the comment section. I think that's it. Let me know what your thoughts are on poly market. Hey, don't comment in the live chat if you're on YouTube about poly market. Comment in the comment section after the video's posted, because that way we can see the notifications come up for your comments. All right. Blessings, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.